Many people are perfectly happy to be alone and are alone of their own free will, and not for a lack of alternatives. Although we must remember that in some cases, isolation is not a result of a conscious decision, but most of us are born with the gift of being enough for ourselves. And there is no reason to feel sorry for loners. Being alone is certainly not the same as feeling lonely. It is precisely through their lifestyle that soloists on the stage of life develop quite unexpected abilities and strengths that many sociable people can only dream of. In today's video, we'll show you what these are and why smart people like to spend time alone. If you like our videos, feel free to support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Psychology and Mind, activate the bell for notifications, and get excited for new videos uploaded every day. Number 1. Self-reliance boosts self-confidence. Hardly any experience inspires us more than the knowledge that we can accomplish great things on our own initiative and without any help from others. Living in harmony with oneself confronts us with countless small tasks every day, for the accomplishment of which we cannot rely on outside help. At some point, we automatically adopt the self-reliant approach to all situations in life. Resolving problems and overcoming new challenges is an everyday thing for loners. They know no other. Needless to say, we automatically acquire skills that we would never have learned otherwise. Our knowledge and talents benefit enormously from this fact. Number 2, being alone promotes productivity. If you don't have to endure distractions from other people, you can automatically concentrate better on yourself and your own activities. Whether it's office work at home, or housework, a hobby, or an honorary position, being able to work in peace and quiet in a secluded environment delivers faster and better results. Don't mix up distractions which might interfere with performance of solo work obligations with the concentration and productivity afforded he who works alone on a freely chosen project. Modern psychology makes a very precise distinction between work accomplished for compensation versus activities that we undertake of our own free will. Number 3, our creativity can flourish. Something similar to productivity also applies to our creative work. Those who pursue an artistic hobby can effortlessly bring it to perfection in complete seclusion. But creativity can also show itself in everyday things for people who are allowed to spend a lot of time on their own. To be able to look for solutions to very pragmatic questions of everyday life in peace and quiet opens the door to unexpected potentials. Reorganizing ourselves, satisfactorily solving long overdue questions of space in the apartment, or getting rid of the annual potted plant dilemma on the windowsill once and for all, also requires a certain amount of imagination and fantasy. Best of all, there is no great penalty for failure. No one will notice if idea A or flash of inspiration B unfortunately turn out to be blind alleys. The motto is to start from scratch and give hopeful new ideas a chance. Number 4, being alone clears the mind. Anyone who is exposed to the hectic pace of others on a daily basis, who has to listen to their problems, or perhaps even solve their problems, cannot concentrate on themselves. Other people put stress on us, whether they want to or not. The inability to take time for ourselves on a daily basis degrades our health in the long run. Not only does our psyche suffer from this constant bombardment from the outside, but physical symptoms such as headaches and insomnia can also manifest themselves as a result. However, when you shut the door to the outside world, all those pressures fall away. Silence brings the barrage of outside demands and thoughts impinging upon our minds to a complete halt. The outside stimuli, which our brain unfortunately constantly absorbs like a sponge, fall silent over time. Our own thoughts are allowed to claim space for themselves again. By organizing them and putting some into deep storage, we can bring peace to our minds. Number 5, quality time solves problems. This benefit of being alone is a result of several of the previously mentioned items. problem-solving skills require a clear head and a certain amount of creativity. Being able to think about an issue in peace usually positions you halfway to the solution. This gives people who spend a lot of time alone a clear advantage. If you don't have to constantly listen to what others are saying, you can give your own needs more space and a higher priority. Thereby, a difficult situation seems to magically solve itself via a walk in the forest or a drink on the balcony. It's worth noting that the reverse conclusion is also true. Those who have less contact with people are automatically confronted with fewer problems. Number 6, if you're alone, you get going faster. How nice it would be to have your own genie to solve every problem of everyday life. A snap of the fingers and every wish could be granted. Fairy tales can be cruel, especially when reality is so very different. If you live alone, you will have no arguments about housework and the like. If no one is there to do things for you, eventually you'll have to do it yourself. At some point, you also realize that it makes absolute sense to do unpleasant things right away, since postponing them rarely, if ever, makes them better. This realization not only increases our efficiency, it also has a positive effect on our productivity and creativity. Number 7, time alone reduces stress. This is a logical consequence, but barely qualifies as a point on the list. It has been scientifically proven that silence and inner peace have a positive effect on our vital signs. Blood pressure, heart rate, and pulse settle down. Our body stops producing the stress hormones adrenaline and dopamine, and we can literally relax. If you're looking for maximum relaxation with minimum effort, spending time in a park or woods is something of a secret weapon with superpower potential for balancing body, mind, and spirit. Number 8, being alone promotes our independence. What other people often do not like to see in us at all, we can enjoy as a right. Independence and freedom are high goods that many of us have to fight for. The more time that we are allowed to spend alone, the stronger we emerge from these phases. As soon as we realize that we can manage perfectly well on our own, that we are more productive, more creative, and more satisfied, a desire for yet more arises in us. In fact, the desire to be around someone else is much nicer for both sides when neither is dependent upon the other. Interpersonal relationships in particular are fragile constructs that can easily get out of whack. However, if everyone involved can manage on their own without any problems, this not only strengthens ourselves, but also the social bonds we form. Dependence and neediness are not a promising basis for eye-to-eye interpersonal interactions. Today's conclusion: you can learn to love being alone. Some of us are forced to be alone sooner or later. For example, when our partner dies, our children go their own ways, or life takes us in a completely new direction. Some people find it naturally easy to believe that they are in the best company of all when they are alone. It is always a gift to be able to live happily and contentedly alone. He who can happily be alone with himself will never be lonely. That's it for today.
Thanks for watching. Did you find this information helpful? Do you have experience with it? We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more resources about mental health, self-improvement, and psychology, visit our website. You'll find the link in the video description where you can also connect with us on social media and sign up for our email list. Take care of yourself and have a beautiful day.